Welcome back to the weather app in JavaScript tutorial. So far, we have a weather app that will take in a zip code and produce the degrees in Kelvin, the location, produce a nice weather icon representing the current weather that is occurring there, the percentage humidity, the wind speed, and the direction. But the direction is currently just a degree that the wind is blowing, and the temperature is currently in Kelvin. So we're going to now create a function to convert our temperature to either Fahrenheit or Kelvin, whichever you prefer, depending on your location. So here we go. So right now we have the weather. It's coming from temp like this, and so we're going to write a function. We're going to write two functions, but I'm going to start at writing K to C. So this is going to be Kelvin to Celsius. And we're just going to wrap it around there. And so we're going to write a function K to C. And this is going to take in a K, so a Kelvin value. And we're going to return, this is the easy one. It's just K minus 273.15. And that's going to give us back our temperature in Celsius. So it's currently 0.19999. So we don't really want that to be going on here. So what we're going to do is we're going to call math.round, and that's just going to drop off the decimal point for us. So it's actually 0 degrees Celsius right now in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So in case you want to use Fahrenheit, we're also going to write a function called K to F, which takes in Kelvin value and returns, again, we're just going to round this off so we don't get strange values. And the formula for that is just K times 9 divided by 5 minus 459.67. And so this is something that I don't expect anyone to actually have memorized. So instead, you should just Google it when you need it. Just look it up. Really easy to find. Now we're going to change this to K to F. Refresh, and we see that it's 32 degrees Fahrenheit in Albuquerque, New Mexico right now. Excellent. So now that we have that taken care of, the next thing we're going to write is a function to convert this degree that the wind is blowing into sort of a north, northeast, east, east, east by southeast sort of value rather than this number, because that's just not what humans think in. So we're going to write a function now, and it's going to be called degrees to direction. We're just going to wrap that degree that we got in here. And now let's add in our function, degrees to direction. We're taking in a degrees. And just to make sure this thing is working, we're going to start out by returning N for north, and we'll refresh here. Make sure everything's working. Looks like something went wrong, so let's check out the developer's console. Degrees to direction is not defined, and that's because I have a typo. So it is correct, degrees to direction. Let's fix that and refresh. And now everything's working good. We get a north there. So now let's work on this function here. So I want to go ahead and do 16 different directions. We'll have north, north by northeast, northeast, east by northeast, east, etc., all the way around. So we're going to have 16. And so we have a range here. It's going to be, each range is going to be 360 degrees divided by 16. That's our total number of directions. And we're going to go ahead and start with north. So north is actually 360 degrees, or 0, depending on what you're looking at. And we're going to say that we want to sort of start to the left of that by half of our range. So we're going to do 360 minus our range divided by 2. And so if you wanted to do just an 8 different directions, you could easily do that by setting this here to be 8. But I want to go ahead and do 16, so we have more granularity. And our high is going to be just our low plus our range. So anything that falls between low and high is going to give us the value that we want. And I'm also going to use a modulus operator here and make sure that this value is always between 0 and 360 degrees. And now I'm going to define the types of angles that we could have. So I'm going to make an array here, and we're just going to go around. So we're going to have north, north by northeast, east by northeast, east, east by southeast, southeast, south by southeast, south, south by southwest, southwest, west by southwest, west, west by northwest, northwest, and north by northwest. So I think that's all of them. Did I miss any? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 different angles. Excellent. So that means we have them all. And we're going to say for each value, we're going to write a loop here in our angles. Oops, got a typo there. For each value in angles, we're going to just go through and see if we're currently at the right angle. And if so, we're going to return that string there. And so we're just going to loop around here. And so low is going to be increased by the range. And we're going to mod it by 360 just to make sure we're always within the angle maximum for a circle. Same here, we're going to increase our high by our range here, keep it at 360. There we go. And now we sort of have a conditional here, and so really what we want to do is say if we are in the range, then we are going to return angles. We're going to return the angle that we're currently on. And so what does that if statement look like? Really, it's not too bad. We're going to say if degrees is greater than or equal to our low and our degrees is less than our high, then we are in the right spot. We're currently at the right angle, so we're just going to select it like so. And we're done. Not too bad. Alternatively, you could write a bunch of if statements to select the location, but I think this is a more clever and useful version. For example, if I wanted to just sort of switch to 8, I can do that and then define my values there very easily. All right, so let's go ahead and refresh this and see what direction the wind is actually blowing. And it's blowing north by northwest. Let's check out another location. So let's try 01007, which happens to be a little town called Belchertown in Massachusetts. So let's refresh here. Oh, and it looks like we got a little bug. So let's define that. And I have an error on line 22 that we missed. Cannot find property 0. Oh, I see what's happening. Since I'm using this as a number, it doesn't like that leading 0. So I'm going to change it to a string, like so. And now we are going to go ahead and get that in Belchertown, we have the weather going by northwest at 4.1 miles per hour. All right, so we're almost done here. The only thing left to do is use the client, whoever's logging into this website. We want to actually ask them for their physical location and use that rather than a zip code. So we'll be doing that in the next video.